Good morning, everyone. I'm calling the Southborough Board of Health meeting to order at 9:03 a.m. on Tuesday, October 7th, 2025. All board members are present. Our first order of business is approval of the September 9th, 2025 meeting minutes. Are there any changes to those?
Nope, not on my end.
Okay.
Not on my end.
All right. So I'll move that we accept the September 9th, 2025 minutes as presented. Is there a second?
Second vote aye.
Zulek, aye.
And Malinowski's aye. Thank you. All right, so we have another 2 minutes before we can start our hearing. So I'm gonna jump to the FY27 budget. So Taylor, do you want to give an overview of the budget? I'll pull it up while you start.
Sure. So basically the budget remains pretty similar to last year. We are assuming a 4% increase in salaries. Obviously, that is subject to change based on what personnel board decides this year, and we'll adjust accordingly. Most likely, it would be a 2% COLA and then a 2%. Chelsea, remind me of the word that they used.
Merit.
Merit. Thank you. And then just accounted for longevity for Barbara and myself for next year. We'll keep Dennis the same for now, and then no changes in our operational budget. So just overall a 3.3% increase, with also the reminder that Northborough reimburses us for half of our health agent line item. So even though the budget reflects the 76, it's actually, we're getting reimbursed for half of that by Northborough. Any questions, comments there?
And just a quick question, Taylor, under contracted services, is there any reimbursement on, is that any shared service? Does that include shared services as well with
It
anybody?
does not. That's Dennis's line item.
Okay.
Yeah. The shared services, employees and operational budget lives in Northborough. Good question.
So this is subject to any personnel changes
Right.
with the SAP employee increase. But this is what we know of as of now.
Right.
Any
There will most likely be changes.
Yeah.
But we just don't know what they will be yet.
Taylor, do you know when this is due to Brian?
We have a department head meeting in the next few weeks, and I'm sure I'll hear more about it then, but he hasn't said anything to any of us yet.
Okay, so I don't think we need to vote this yet. I think we can probably wait until our November meeting, but we just wanted to at least get it out there as this is what we have in draft form right now. All
No
right.
surprise, no big surprises.
No. Thanks, Taylor.
Yep.
Okay. So now we will go to our first order of business, or third on the variance request for 25 Park Street. So I'm going to read into the record the hearing notice. So there is a public hearing scheduled for October 7th, 2025 with the Southborough Board of Health. The meeting, wait a second. Barbara, is this the hearing notice?
That's the notice that he sent to the abutters.
Okay, do you have the hearing notice?
No, this was not supposed to be a public hearing. I believe Dennis didn't say that he had to do the whole newspaper thing.
So it's a variance request, so I think we do need to do a public hearing, right, Chris?
Yeah, I was under the impression this is a local upgrade.
Chris, you're on mute.
I was under the impression this was a local upgrade approval.
Okay, so no public?
No.
So,
Alleyway, okay.
but why did we say in the letter that it's a public hearing?
I didn't put the letter together.
Well, I feel like
But
we're
doesn't always
contradicting
require it,
ourselves,
does it,
even if we
Chris?
don't need a hearing.
What's that?
We don't need the public hearing. If it's a variance request just from the board, no. Okay.
For local upgrade approval, no.
LUA, okay.
We don't, yeah, no.
But we contradicted ourselves and put in well, I know we didn't. But in this information that went to abutters, it says that it's a public hearing.
So does this get tabled for another meeting?
That's what I'm trying to I haven't had. I mean, we didn't post it as a public hearing.
No.
I don't know. I don't know. Safter and Liz, what do you guys think? The information that went to a butter says it's a public hearing, but it's
Yeah.
not.
And I don't know if enough abutters know about it, right? Do they?
Well, I'm not concerned about the abutters not knowing, because we got
Mhm.
certified mail back.
Sure.
And so the abutters were definitely notified.
Hmm.
We posted correctly.
Right.
But the information that went to the abutters says it's a public hearing, so it's almost like they were
Right.
not over
Is
communicating.
there a reason we can't just run it as a public hearing
No.
Well, yeah, because we didn't post for a public hearing. Like, it didn't go to the newspaper.
Oh, so we notified them that there would be, but there isn't. Is
So-
there anyone here? Can we just take public comment and then move on then if there's abutters who want to comment?
Because we have people in the audience. I don't know if there's any abutters.
Yeah, I mean, we could let Peter present,
Mhm.
and Chris worked on this, and then open it up to the public. Yeah, and I just won't read the notice to go into a public hearing.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't think legally we did any, like, I don't think legally we have a problem.
Right.
Okay. All right, sorry. I could confuse myself. So Chris, do you want to give an overview of the 25 Park Street?
So yeah, Mr. Bemis is requesting a upgrade approval to put a soil absorption system at 50 feet from an existing subsurface drain that is tributary to surface water supply. Typically Title V requires 100 feet of a setback. The existing plan, I believe, was provided, shows that he's requesting 50 feet as a local upgrade approval.
So is the existing system within 50 feet currently?
The existing system is a cesspool, so this would be an upgrade into a traditional system.
Okay. Okay. And how old is the original system? Do you know?
Not to my knowledge, I'm not aware, but I
Okay.
gotta imagine it's decades.
And did you go out to the site?
Dennis did, I believe,
Okay.
so I have not been to the site.
Okay. And you talked to Dennis about?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna bring Peter over. Good morning, Peter. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Sorry on the notice. We just copied one from before and sent it, and what really wasn't thinking about the language. So I've notified abutters. I've spoke with one. So
Okay.
I mean, the purpose is to notify them that there's a meeting and we're looking for a variance, and that's basically what it says. The existing cesspool is quite old. The home is quite old. You know, it could be turn of the century, and not this past one. Because the house is that old. But this drain, you know, has been there historically. There are a lot of homes along this whole street that are affected by this drain. So, you know, it's not the first time that you'll have to deal with a setback request for this, as you deal with other homes that are on the Foley Drive neighborhood street, which is where this drain goes. So, you know, we kept it as far away as we could. Did the soil testing with Dennis. We actually have a barrier in there as well. So, you know, we're trying to do as much as we can environmentally to protect this. And I look forward to your support for this today, because we are trying to get the system in. We actually would have already put it in, but Dennis felt as though it needed to come before the board because of the setback to drain. Which
Okay.
we just could not put it anywhere else on this lot. The
Do you
grade.
have a map? We haven't seen the
Sure,
locations
yeah,
of
I can
this. Do you
share if you'll
mind?
let me share.
Yeah,
I have it
sure.
ready
I
to go.
will.
I think I can share now.
Can you?
No, you disabled. You have to
Yeah.
enable.
Well, I just didn't enable you yet. It's not that I
Okay.
disabled you.
I see it. My screen is green on share, but
All right, go ahead.
I think it works now. Here we go. Great. So this is a big overview. So just to give you a sense, Park is over here, coming in off of Main here. So this drain, there's a wet area here that forms along the back of Park, and this is a portion of it, and then that drain daylights at about this position here in the northwest. So it flows through the property, and then I'll just kind of zoom in here. This is where our closest point is at 50.2 feet away. And then this drain, and there's a catch basin right here. And then this drain continues down along Foley. This is where our soil absorption system is to be located. And the cesspool is, let me show you here. Cesspool is located right here. So, you know, I just wanted to show you that we are getting closer, but it's only because there's no suitable areas here to put the soil absorption system. It is not possible. This is where the soils are. We've done an extensive amount of soil testing here, hoping to do more than just a single family home. But unfortunately, it did not work out such. So I'd be happy to answer any more questions and again, show you anything further. I believe it was this gentleman here that had contacted me directly because he was concerned about the position of the soil absorption system, and I had assured him that it wouldn't affect his property at all.
And Peter, just to be clear, this, even though it's 25 Park Street, the access to this
Yeah.
property is off Foley.
Correct. Yes,
Okay.
this home existed before Foley Drive existed.
Okay,
That's
Okay.
why this was just backland. When they brought Foley Drive in, they created this configuration and they provided access to Foley Drive here.
Yeah.
But not sufficient amount of frontage, unfortunately.
okay. Okay. Chris, anything you want to add as we're looking at this map?
No, I would agree with Peter that it is location on the property that makes the most sense to put the field. So obviously, you know, from the protecting public health angle, this is a big improvement over an existing cesspool. So
Yeah. Okay. And no risk to the pipe and the location of where the pipe is?
I think, like Peter said, I think with the impervious barrier, that would mitigate the risk.
Okay. Okay. Safdar or Liz, any questions?
My only question is so as we vote today, we're voting on the variance part of it. So why was 100 feet initially suggested for this as a distance? And then, you know, is there a risk or is there data to say 50 feet is safe? I guess that would be my only question.
I can answer that. So environmentally, I mean, the state had made the conclusion that, you know, 100-foot setback to subsurface drains was the best measure for surface water supplies. I mean, we all understand that the Sudbury Reservoir System, is an emergency backup water supply. It is not necessarily going to probably ever be used as a primary, but that doesn't diminish our responsibility to continue to protect it as if it is. I guess if it was a primary water supply, I'd probably be a little bit more proactive in how I dealt with this and maybe do a little bit more analysis. But in this case, I would have to say to you that there's a lot more soil absorption systems further downstream that are in closer proximity to this drain than this one. And then this system is going to be compliant with today's current requirements versus these older systems that were done before this requirement was being observed. So I would say to you that I think we're doing a better job environmentally with this proposal than the existing cesspool, which is providing zero treatment.
Thank you. Thanks for clarifying that.
Sure.
Liz, any comments or questions?
Nope,
Okay,
I'm good.
thank you. So I'll open it up for public comment. If there's any, feel free to raise your hand and we'll bring you over to speak. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Chelsea. Hi, everybody. Thank you. Chelsea, I appreciate it. Can you hear me okay? Kevin Miller, 18 Lattisquama. I'm a direct abutter to the property. Chelsea, I appreciated your hesitation over the public hearing issue because I do think, I mean, I don't know either. I feel like you, but I think you might have an issue because when we received the notice of the public hearing, I did go to look to where it was published
Yeah,
and couldn't find it.
right.
So, you know, you have this issue. And then I looked at your agenda and it's simply listed as a straight agenda item and not a public hearing. So I don't know where you're at on that.
So
but-
I think where I'm at, Kevin, is we'll proceed with it today. And I'm gonna go back and check with town council
Yeah.
after this meeting to make sure that, I mean, and if it comes out that I need to redo a public hearing, then I will.
Right. No, I appreciate that.
So that's where I'm at.
And I just wanted to say, I appreciate the dilemma you found yourself in. With regard to the substance of this, I know the parcel well, I overlook it. And I know it's a challenging parcel because there's a great deal of wetlands there. And Mr. Bemis has, explained that there's a water course that actually comes down along the west side of Newton. It crosses at Main Street. It ends up near the old mill on the I'm sorry, by the gas station. It crosses under and then it emerges. There's a lot of wetlands there. And then has been explained, there's the subsurface drain that ends up at the Sudbury Reservoir. My question about this is a couple. One is, what is the size of the septic system that's proposed for installation here? This is basically the soil absorption system is a leaching field. So the current house on the property is a 4-bedroom house. What is the size? It's a 4-bedroom system that's being proposed, a 6-bedroom, an 8-bedroom. That's my first question. What is the size of the septic system being proposed for installation?
This is a local upgrade approval, so we are required to put in the number of bedrooms that are found at the existing dwelling. We are not trying to put in more than is there.
So it's
it's
a
So we match. We basically match. We can't exceed, or we wouldn't be doing a local upgrade and we wouldn't be asking you for this variance.
So, but it's a 4-bedroom.
Right. Right. Yeah. In other words, we would, it'd almost be like a misnomer. We wouldn't be having this conversation right now. We'd either comply and you could then you don't need an upgrade and therefore you could put more bedrooms in, but because we need an upgrade, we're not allowed to put more in.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. The other question I have is about, I wonder if the standard is 100-foot setback. And again, I appreciate the difficulty on that site because there is a lot of wetlands, and I'm sure Mr. Bemis is correct that there are limited locations. where such a system could be placed. I mean, I wonder about the public interest of, you know, if 100-foot setback from a leaching field to a drainage system that empties into a public reservoir, even if it is a backup reservoir, to go from 100 feet to 50 feet. I just wonder what the state thinks about that, and what the public interest ramifications are of having the setback. Just a question, not an opinion. That's all I've got for now. Thank you.
I can address that too, because again, the purpose of this meeting is to address that public interest. And in this case, what I'm presenting is a system that complies with Title V. The provisions were made to allow local upgrades for lessening this by increasing the environmental sensitivity of the design. So this design does address all of those other points. It can't achieve this setback requirement. And it's not a new dwelling, it is an existing dwelling, just like all the other existing dwellings on Foley that will likely have to deal with the same issue, because this drain goes down Foley Drive and affects every property that is there. Those that can put the soil absorption system in their rear yard may be able to fulfill the 100-foot setback. Those that cannot will not, and you will have to make the same sort of, you know, judgment decision. But this is the best space to put it. We have tested extensively on the lot. It was witnessed by Dennis, and the conclusion is that this is where we should put the leaching area. So,
Dennis, Dennis isn't here. Peter, how many spots did we do soil testing there? Do you?
Oh, at least a dozen.
Yeah. Okay.
And this was the conclusion that this is the spot.
Okay. And I mean, with the barrier that we would add there, Chris, do you want to speak to what the advantages are to being able to use a barrier there?
Adds an additional layer of protection in case of breakout. So that kind of, it adds a hurdle for any of that, you know, effluent to kind of get to that potential drain source. You know, that that 50 feet setback is, I should say, the 100-foot setback set by Title V is a very conservative, to pick my words, number. So like Peter said, you know, it gives the boards a healthy authority to work within that number. So 50 feet is still a lot of treatment in the soil between that drain and the system, on
Mhm.
top of the extra layer of protection that the impervious barrier gives you.
And to go back to something Kevin asked, related to what the state would think, the state allows the Board of Health to grant a variance up to 50 feet, or is there a different measure that they would use for what the Board of Health has purview over?
Do you want to answer that, Chris? Do you want me
Yeah,
to?
no, Title V,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
doesn't
so
actually
you can
set.
vary even more than that, but
Yeah.
Dennis and I look like, again, professionally, we've been doing this for a long time. We usually use 50 feet as being like that's where we want to go. If we're going to try to vary anything, we stop there. Then
Mhm.
what would be the next issue for us would be then, have we really exhausted everywhere else to go? So to that end, you know, if Mr. Miller's up on Lattisquama, then he knows the difficulty of the soils that are up along Lattisquama, because I've tested soils that are up there. Trying to get in this backyard and trying to fit a system there would be extremely difficult. So therefore, I would come back to you and say, look, we could put a system here, but understand that the treatment is going to be far less effective than the treatment that I'm going to get at this lower area where I am asking you for this variance. So we would start rolling down that type of assessment. In this case, getting the 50 feet, just like from Dennis' perspective and mine as well, that's a good spot. We made it to 50 feet. That's good. We were a little bit less when we started with this. The first design I submitted to Dennis, I think it was my son had done, it was like 42 or something like that. And I had mentioned to Zach, let's just pull it back to get to the 50. 50 is important. So that's what we've submitted to you for consideration.
All right, Kevin, do you want to go?
Can I ask just one follow-up question?
Sure.
Mr. Bemis indicated that other properties on Foley might be facing a similar issue down the road, but as I understand it, the water being conveyed to the Sudbury Reservoir is in a pipe at that point. So the entry point for this system is at 25 Park Street. So that this is the only place where actually it doesn't seem well. That's why I'm interested in Mr. Bemis's clarification on that.
Yeah, I'll definitely clarify that. That's where Mr. Miller's totally misunderstanding. The setback to wetlands, we are over 100 feet away. The wetlands are at the back end along Park. It is the drain itself. The physical drain is what is underground. I think it's 42-inch diameter. So it's a very large drain because it is draining a great deal of the watershed that's located to the north of this site. And that goes down Foley. And it goes down the middle of the road, basically. So anyone with a property that has a soil absorption system in their front yard would then have this issue, similar issue. I know I did a repair on a Foley Drive property many years ago, but we ended up being able to put the soil absorption system in the backyard. It was raised up quite a bit because of high groundwater, but we were able to get 100 feet away from the drain. So in those cases of those properties that have the room, great. That's the way you'd solve the problem. You'd provide the 100 feet. And you might have some other issue to deal with, like higher groundwater. But in this case, on this property, the gradient is much higher in their backyard than in their front yard, and the soil conditions in their backyard are very restrictive. Whereas in their front yard, we've got leachable soils. Not real fast, but they still, leach well. And that's why we went to this location. It's suitable, and now we need this setback. But it is a setback to an underground drain. That's what the request is. It's not a request for setback to wetlands.
Very good. Thank you for the
Yeah, I think
clarification.
if this was a wetlands issue, it'd have to go to Concom, not Board of Health, right?
Yep, that's right. Yeah, we have no Concom issue with this project.
Okay. All right. Any other public comment? I don't see any. Any other comments from the board?
So if I could just ask for one courtesy here, because again, we're trying to, this property has been sold. There is a buyer. We do need to replace the soil absorption system. I realize I put you in a bit of a quandary here with the notice to abutters. We're trying to be careful with how we write these, and we'll be a heck of a lot more careful next time. But they did get notified. And I would ask that possibly you could condition your,
Yeah.
because you're meeting as a board today.
Yeah.
And town council, if town council requires it to be done again, I will do
Yeah.
it again. But that's just going to put us another month out.
I understand. So, yeah,
thank you.
that's my
Thank you for
intent,
your
Peter.
consideration. Okay.
In the
Sorry.
future, if you could not confuse the chair of the Board of Health, that would be awesome.
I'm so sorry.
Just adding to my wonderful morning that's happening over here, but
I'm sorry.
that's okay. So yes, my intent, Liz and Safdar, is that I will email town council after this. We'll take, assuming that we're ready to vote, we will take a position conditional on town council's approval of the process that we went through to get here, and then move forward, if you guys are good with that.
Thank you.
Liz, you good?
Good.
Okay. So well, wait a second, I lost my thing here. Okay. I will move that the Board of Health conditionally approve a variance of a setback of 50 feet from the subsurface drain at 25 Park Street on the premise that town council approves the process that the Board of Health went through for posting this meeting.
Second and vote aye. Medina?
Liz,
Zuluk, aye.
and Malinowski's aye. So
Thank
thank
you.
you, Peter.
Appreciate it.
Have a great rest of the day, and thank
Thank
you,
you.
Butters, for joining.
All right.
All right. Next meeting schedule.
I think we have November set, right?
Do we? I don't know. I have to look.
I have it on my calendar, I think.
November.
18th.
18th.
Oh, right, because we have two in a row that we can't do. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
November 18th is done, yeah.
So December. You want to do 9th?
December 9th. I just have a hard stop at 10 a.m., but we
Okay.
would be done, right?
I mean, I usually try to keep it to
Yeah,
at
for you.
most an
Yeah.
hour. Liz,
Yeah.
does that work for you? At 9?
Yes, that
Okay.
works.
All right. And then don't forget, fall town meeting is October 27th at 6:30 at Trotter. And I'll go to public comment. If there's any comment, feel free to raise your hand and we'll allow you to speak. All right, I don't see any, so I move to adjourn at 9:34 a.m. So,
Thanks. Second and vote aye.
Zuluk, aye.
and Malinowski's aye. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of the day.
Bye all.